Hey everyone, and welcome to a new edition of Vegas Bad Boys of Podcasting. I'm DJ Impact. We got here Matt Michaels, Sin City Steve, and Simon Street. And welcome to 3 Count. We got 3 good topics that we're going to throw out there to you for this episode. So make sure you put all your comments in, especially if you're watching us live, Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. Throw it in, and we'll try to get it in as we see fit. All right, fellas, we got these stories. Let's get it started right now. It's time. Vegas Bad Boys of Podcasting present
1, 2, 3.
Count Talk.
Count Talk, baby.
All right, here's our first count. AEW files for interesting new trademark. Now, this is from itrwrestling.com, which is Inside the Ropes Wrestling. It just reads like this. AEW has filed a trademark for, quote, AEW Plus, end quote. The new trademark covers streaming and has raised a few eyebrows online. The term is currently used by the company and Fight for international fans. However, some are wondering whether this could be expanded, with rumors of some kind of streaming deal growing even or ever louder in recent weeks and months. No comment has been made by the promotion for how it intends to use the new trademark. At present, fans can stream AEW pay-per-views on Bleacher Report in the U.S. and Fight elsewhere. All right, over to you, Sin City, man. This was your article. Man, a new trademark, huh? What's going on? What do you think?
Well, first things first, I wanted to kind of take it easy on you this week. I've been submitting stories as of late where you've had to read like 85 paragraphs.
I really appreciate that too. I was so excited. Like, yes.
You gave him a break, but he ain't got a break coming up next.
Hey, that's the way it goes. Realistically, I think that, for all of the rumors of, AEW's ratings are falling, they're not making money, blah, 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 blah. Despite having sold 70,000 tickets for Wembley, I think the company's going to do just fine. Obviously, the biggest void for a lot of people has been a streaming service in the United States. A lot of people have assumed, and I'm one of them, that they are going to be broadcasting that Wembley show on a streaming platform, be it Max or maybe AEW Plus. And a very interesting scenario that I heard, I believe that was maybe Andrew Zarian threw it out there, that it's now being rumored that this could actually be a subsection of Max that you may have to pay a couple of bucks for per month on top of your Max subscription, but you will get the entire AEW catalog as well as the pay-per-views. So we'll see what happens. Obviously, this is all in the formulative stages now, but it's definitely a good thing, to say the very least. Yes, there might be some things going on with the company that are causing some minor trepidations, but I think we're going to be fine, to say the least. And who knows, maybe this time next year we'll be talking about how much of a success that AEW Plus actually is.
Yeah, absolutely. It's although this part of the article that I read, there was another little section right below, and it was titled, has AEW signed a new TV deal? But one of the things it mentioned is that now, while the new deal is set to be announced, the broadcast giant is reportedly, quote, very happy with Tony Khan-led promotion. It's been reported that AEW is set for a, quote, huge money increase as part of the new contract. So that's big news.
But that's an old story, though, right? Because didn't they sign the contract and everything was announced at the upfronts, right?
That was just an addendum to their existing deal to give them Collision.
So that was it. So it wasn't a full extension.
Correct. Yeah. So those negotiations are still going on right now. But it's definitely boding very well that they're drawing the numbers that they are on Saturday with Collision, because all reports have said that they're very, very happy with those numbers on Saturday.
Let me go to you, Matt Michaels. I was going to go to Simon, but what's your take hearing, that they've now filed for this new trademark? We don't know yet, but does the idea of maybe they're having their own kind of streaming service, does that seem like something that could be appealing, or maybe just jumping on some increase to Max? What you think?
I think it's first of all, it's imperative that they do it in this day and age. Second of all, who fucking cares? Because what is their catalog? That's the thing. So basically, if you want to watch ROH, great. There you go. There's your catalog. But you've got 4 years. That's it. So you can burn through that very quickly, is what I'm saying. So I think that there's so much emphasis being put on this for something that isn't as important as, again, making sure that your base is growing. 75,000 in Wembley, that's great. But are you going to get, 14,000 to 20,000 here in the States every show that you're taping? You got to build that audience, that main audience. Now, if the streaming service helps that, that's great. That's what they need to do. But otherwise, and also, again, you're talking about putting it on with Max if you do that. Max has struggled. So that's another thing. Mm-hmm. And are you bringing new viewers to Max just for the AEW streaming? So that's another question. So there's a lot of hypotheticals. Honestly, it would cost them money because they'd have to cut the deal with them. But honestly, if you do AEW Plus, do it with Fight TV. Combine that way.
Simon Street, could you make a case that having their own trademark is something, trademarking whatever this is, maybe shouldn't be something that should be looking to do right now? Maybe, like Michael says, maybe more on focus on building the crowds that come to the crowd that's here in the States that come to your shows, and just building overall people watching your show as well. What do you think?
Well, first and foremost, if you have the resources to trademark anything, you do it right then and there. It doesn't matter what your momentum is, where your business is. If you got to do it for the future, even if it doesn't pan out, it's just smart business. However, the one thing that I will kind of disagree with Matt Michaels a little bit is the whole Fight TV. And the reason why I'll say the whole Fight TV is because that's assuming everybody really watches Fight TV. People who primarily really consume Fight TV on a regular are people who are into combat sports and other the such.
Wrestling. That's the whole Fight Plus, dude.
But here's the thing. I think that it's an opportunity to bring more eyes to the product on AEW. And even though HBO, I won't say HBO, but Max has struggled primarily with this whole merger deal with Discovery, they actually have quite a good standing of shows that have continued on for, I want to say, maybe 6 years, 7 years plus, right? And the reason why I'm making that point is to lead to this. Being able to watch AEW products, most likely it'll be VOD. I don't see it being live, Collision and all the stuff will be after the tape. So that VOD in the pay-per-views alone is a smart idea. And if that does go through, it's going to bring new products, because think about this. I'm going to watch Game of Thrones regularly, on Sunday. Usually that's when they have their new episode out, right? There's chances that I may also now watch AEW. Never watched it before,
right? But you're now, but now you have to pay for the subset.
Yes,
but you don't watch AEW. Remember, you just said it. You don't watch AEW. You don't know what this is, and now you have to pay for it.
I think that the pricing needs to probably be changed a little bit. I'm not going to lie.
There needs to be no pricing.
But here's the thing. That may be what the end product may be. Possibly. Okay. The reason why I'm having a hard time being at 100% is because if you remember back with Peacock, before Peacock acquired WWE, the price was substantially lower. And once they got WWE, maybe not immediately, but later on, their price went up. You see what I'm saying? So they do it one way or another. The price is going to go up.
But
if you look at,
you're talking about a 50-year established company that already had their own streaming service, and all those people who had that streaming service are going to go to Peacock, and Peacock could raise it. It's a totally different scenario.
Well,
Max,
but here's the thing:
if you do it on Max, you cannot charge for it.
Period. But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing: if you don't charge for it, but you're getting AEW pay-per-views, how does that work? Like honestly, how does that work?
You're already paying into the Max subscription, and that is something that Time Warner, Discovery, whatever the hell they're called, they need to negotiate with AEW in terms of giving them a kick. The whole idea, if you're going to grow your product, is not to charge more money for people who don't know your product. Now, people who know the product will have no problem paying that extra. And that's why.
Let me ask you this question. It's kind of the same with like Prime, right? So you have Prime at a base, you have your Prime videos, right? You also have an opportunity to get
Prime drinks.
Amazon Prime, man. Come on, man. Catch up. But if you want, you can get Stars channel. Same model as with Hulu. Do you see what I'm saying? So
Sure.
If they present it that way, they have it as an option, that's better. And I think in the article, it did kind of say it was going to be almost a la carte as an extra tier. And that's why they're probably doing the trademark, to be completely honest with you, for that reason. The last thing I will say that I did agree with you 100% on, Michaels, is catalog-wise. And the only reason why is because only recently have I actually fell in love with WWE Network again, because I'm starting to go back into the catalog. I don't just have it on Peacock because of the subscription or because of the pay-per-views. You see what I'm saying? So that does entice you more. If I were to pay more, it does two things for me right now. Number one, I'm getting a hell of a deal on Peacock and WWE, first and foremost, for that large catalog. AEW, if they have that, you're completely right. There's not enough ROH to where it can substantiate that. So then my biggest question is that I ask myself, what is AEW going to come out with to be able to substantiate me paying more if it's not just the pay-per-views? Because I'm a simple dude. If I can watch the pay-per-view and I ain't got to go meet up with Sensei Steve in a theater, or ain't got to download something, and I can just watch it there, cool. If I'm paying an extra $5, cool. But I'm saying not everybody's that way. But they got to come extra. Because if they are paying it, I know there's people like you, Matt, that will look at that and be like, well, what are you just giving me? I'm not even going to watch the pay-per-views anyways because I hate AEW. But let's say they put something that you do like. But again, that's extra, like documentaries or something.
But again, the whole thing comes down to a simple fact. We're not talking about us. That's the problem here. Wrestling fans are too fucking stupid because we already watch it. So it's not about us. It's about those people who've never seen the product and getting them hooked on the product. You do that for free. It's like, Tony, remember, the first sniff you ever took, you didn't pay for.
Well, everybody don't pay for the first sniff they took. So I'll add this one last thing, and I'm dead with it. Come on. I will say this. There is a demographic you didn't think about. People who don't pay for their own damn subscriptions that is too dumb to download it. What if there's some people out there that has somebody that, hey, I'm living with somebody. They have Max. Now I'm finding out AEW. I'm an AEW fan. Man, that's the best of both worlds. So that's cool how it's a different option. And yes, I'm not going to go down that road with everything you said, Michaels. You're right. Okay, I get it. But I'm saying, to me, this is an opportunity for people who can't get the access, because that's been a number one challenge for AEW, or for even if it was AEW, trying to compete, not with WWE, but compete for television time with some type of new product or new option.
All right. Let's move over in the count two. AEW's Thunder Rosa knows criticism is out there, but doesn't read any of it. And Taya Valkyrie responds to criticism of AEW Dynamite match with Britt Baker. Now, these are two different articles, but they're written by the same site, WrestlingInc.com. The first one with Thunder Rosa, it says that out of sight, out of mind. That's the mindset that keeps former AEW's world champion Thunder Rosa focused amidst criticism on social media. On quote, Busted Open, in quote, Rosa explains how she steels herself against the churn of the rumor mill. Quote, I mentally prepare myself when I return to the ring, end quote, Rosa said. Quote, because I know the criticism is going to come out, end quote. Now, Rosa says that people said she was faking her injury and therefore she didn't assume that she will get the best from the fans when she returns. Quote, I know the criticism is going to be out there when I won't was out there and I won't read it because I don't have time to read it, Rosa explained. I have a team that does that, end quote. Now, Rosa said that her rehab and training have been painful, showing off the quote needling end quote scars of her back to host Dave LaGreca. Quote, people don't see all the pain and trials and tribulations we go through as performers, end quote, Rosa said, warning fans of wrestling and entertainment alike that people they talk about on social media are human beings. Quote, people are getting very used of nonchalant insulting people on social media because they can't get into a physical altercation, end quote. Now, Rosa still hasn't returned from her injury since she suffered last August, which forced her to vacate her AEW's Women's World title. With her recognized reign ending in September 2022, AEW initially instated an interim women's champion for a time, which means Rosa did not officially relinquish her title until November. Now, when it comes over to Taya Valkyrie, it says that it was a double whammy for Taya on AEW Dynamite. Not only did Valkyrie lose her match against Britt Baker, but she also faced harsh criticism on social media following the bout. Most of the toxic comments were derogatory towards her abilities and appearance, similar to the situation Dana Brooke endured not too long ago. But much like Brooke, Valkyrie isn't going to just take it without standing up for herself. The AEW star took to Twitter on to address some of the vitriol she had received, saying she was just a human being trying her best. Valkyrie reminded those launching insults to remember the next time, while saying they hopefully would never have to hear similar things about themselves. So Taya did say, she said, waking up the comments such as Taya is fat and disgusting, slow, untalented loser, looks like a man, and so on and so on forth. I'm just a human being trying my best. Remember that next time, and hopefully you'll never have to hear that kind of stuff about yourself, end quote. That's what Taya had written on her Twitter. So to the very surprise, Valkyrie has received a ton of support from the wrestling community in light of this shameful activity. And this includes messages from Saraya and Swerve Strickland and the Pacific Northwest promotion, Defy Wrestling, Allison Kay, Giselle Saul, Gail Kim. It's a whole lot of them that did that. So anyway, let's move over to you, Matt Michaels. What's your take, man, when you see that these ladies, you have one that kind of don't read it. She has people who read it for her because, she knows the criticism out there. And you have another one that does read it, and it's got to be kind of hurtful to hear what she's reading, but she's coming back and saying, hey, I'm doing my best. What's your take?
Well, first, it really shows you got two different personalities, right? Mm-hmm. And that's something that also kind of gets lost, because I think that everything always gets lumped together, right? So you think, they're women wrestlers. There you go. Every one of them, they're women wrestlers. You forget that Taya and Thunder Rosa are two different people. And Thunder Rosa's ability to deal with it one way versus Taya's is based on their personality. Thunder Rosa is someone who is always, you look at her history, she's thinking forward. She's always trying to do something. She's always goal-oriented. Whatever it is, that's what she's doing. Taya is one of the nicest, sweetest people in the fucking world, and she will take that stuff more personally because of the fact that she's more into, emotions, being someone who really is trying to please you as the fan, right? And trying to be the best she can be for what she does as an entertainer. So you definitely have, 2 degrees of internet bullying, that are affecting it in different ways.
Yeah. Let me go over to you, Simon Street. Oh, was you still going? Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Simon Street, let me go to you. What is your take when you see that? First off, there are fans that continue to want to bash when they see an opportunity to do that. And there was one part I will tell you. Trying to see if I can find the comment here. I'll probably find it while you're talking. But what is your take though when you do hear these fans that feel they can have the right to just come out and say whatever they want about these women wrestlers?
Well, I think first and foremost, sharing one's opinion, there's nothing wrong with that. You can have an opinion, but if you are unintelligent enough to be able to curtail your opinion to where you can still let your opinion shine, but it's not dimming the light of somebody else, and that's the problem with the internet. Let's just be honest. There's a lot of people that they're just not socially intelligent. And it's not me being an internet bully. I'm just being honest. You're not socially intelligent. You could have said that, hey, I would say that Taya Valkyrie's performance was definitely unfavorable. I just don't get her. I don't get the appeal. That's one thing. You're giving your opinion that you don't find favor in her match. But sitting there and picking at what she looks like, first and foremost, I'm going to give my quick opinion. Taya Valkyrie is very accomplished and decorated woman in this industry. And whoever did make that comment, you obviously don't watch this shit. Because if you did, you would know. I'm just saying. Second of all, personally, Simon Street has always found Taya Valkyrie in all stages of her life to be fine with a capital F. And I'm from Louisiana and we like them thick. So there you go. Beautiful woman. Yeah. And what helps too is that she is a sweetheart. But I do take the stance, me personally, more of like Thunder Rosa. Everybody's going to have an opinion. I really don't give two shits about it. Because at the end of the day, I can choose, and it's okay because choice is a big thing. I like that Michael's illustrated that there's different type of people who take this in, right? You can choose to dwell on it. And if you're like Taya, kind of, I guess the word made my grieve, ponder on it. But hopefully you move forward. Hopefully you have good support people and you're able to look in the mirror and know how badass you are. But if you're Thunder Rosa, you don't have time for that. These people only want one thing. They want attention. They want to be able to say something so somebody either gives them negative feedback or positive feedback because they're at home. They don't feel good who they are or their position in life. Their circumstances weighing down on them. So at the end of the day, they have to go out and spew this horrible negative garbage. My last thing to close this, Impact, because I was trying to keep talking so you come and tell me what you're going to say. But I will say that we're always going to have this, especially with wrestling fans. We are the most opinionated group of people I've ever met next to NBA fans. We are just opinionated as shit. Even the nice ones, we opinionated. But at the end of the day, I'm going to go back to what I said a couple weeks ago. I think that kudos to anybody who was in that chat thread that when that person said that and they bit back at that person. Because
I love that you keep putting that person. It wasn't that person. It was many people, and that's the sad.
Okay, dim people. Whoever dim people was, and if you wasn't dim people, hopefully you had enough courage to kind of stand up and say, look, man, that stuff ain't tolerated. Because until we start vetting our own justice, and I'm not saying physically, I'm not saying with any types of acts of violence or threats. I am saying in the sense of not standing for it. Do you see what I'm saying? It don't take much on a Facebook or Instagram to report somebody. But yet people don't want to do it. They just want to ignore it. And so, like I said, it was unnecessary. It was ridiculous. I'm sorry that happened to both of them.
All right. Sin City Steve, I found kind of what I wanted to mention. You can just kind of respond to that and then whatever other comment you want to add. But this was with Thunder Rosa. She said, quote, people are getting very used to nonchalant insulting people on social media because they can't get into a physical altercation. Is that what it is, man? Is people ready to get down and get going? The reason why they make those comments to professional wrestlers?
Dude, the thing is, that's been a critique of the internet since the beginning. is the anonymity of the internet and the sheer fact that people can do literally whatever the fuck they want and there's no filter. Which, first things first, I am okay with that. I don't think that we need to have, speech filters online or anything of that nature. Quite frankly, let sunlight be the best disinfectant. And what I mean by that is, yes, those people that are going to say these things are going to out themselves. And it is, as Street mentioned, it is something that we as pro wrestling fans can do to self-police that shit. Either, make it not show up on your feed, or if you choose to, to make comments to that individual and engage with them. But either way, I mean, I think that we do go down a slippery slope if we do start to limit speech. That being said, there are ways to say things. And, this is something that I've even attempted to do with, some of the things that I've prepared for WTFs in the past few weeks is, taking a step back, realizing that, hey, it's creative. Or, I did mention the Britt Baker and Taya match this week in WTF on Wrestling Talk. But ultimately, that was to make mention of the fact that it appeared that neither of those two ladies had any chemistry with each other. And again, the internet wrestling community is as vitriolic as it can get. Damn good and well that there are a good chunk of people out there that are just trolls. They're just going to do whatever, say whatever, to get reaction, to get engagement. And that's in every facet of everything. You're going to have that. So it's not just pro wrestling fans. It's not just in this isolated incident. It's in all manner of things, all manner of topics. But again, I think that, we need to be better, straight up. We as wrestling fans, we need to be better. And just echoing the sentiments of everybody that, Taya definitely is taking this stuff to heart. And it's really sad to see that it is actually having an effect on her. I think that she's one of the most talented women in that locker room, bar none. And, I'm not a fan of the way that she's been booked. I would definitely like to see her win more than she loses. And I can only hope that that's what we start to see. Who knows, maybe after Wembley, maybe after All Out. Yeah.
Okay. Only time will tell. We'll keep our eyes open and see. Let's move over to count 3. WWE Executive Chairman Vince McMahon has major spinal surgery. This was also from WrestlingInc.com. The way that this reads is that Vince McMahon, WWE's former CEO and current executive chairman, reportedly underwent a major surgical operation on his spine recently. According to TMZ, which cited sources close to McMahon, the procedure took place last week. It lasted more than 4 hours. The outlet reported that the operation was considered successful and that McMahon has been recuperating in the time since. Now, McMahon retired from his role in WWE in July 2022, spending several months away from the company in the wake of the scandal in which the company funds were reportedly used as hush money to cover up allegations of harassment and misconduct made by former WWE employees. But as the WWE largest shareholder, McMahon leveraged his position to install himself as executive chairman of the company's board of directors in early 2023 in order to facilitate a potential sale, the result of which a merger of the UFC under parent company Endeavor. Now, Wrestling Inc. reached out to WWE. As spokesperson said the company has no statement at this time, but acknowledged that the facts of the TMZ report are believed to be true. Simon Street, this was your article. What's your take?
Well, my take was, as far as news was, there wasn't much that I could find. But when I did come across this, it pondered a great question in me. And this is why I brought it up. How are we going to feel when Vince McMahon dies? Whether it's old age, surgery, because 4-hour surgery is major ass surgery. And I know everybody has their opinions. And I get it. We're all entitled to it. But I thought about it for a second. Because I think differently a lot of times with great men and women who are maybe not great human beings based on the choices they've made. I look as a whole entirety of contributions. And Vince McMahon has made a huge contribution to everything of why we even on this show, on this panel. You see what I'm saying? Some of the moves that he made were very bold, and they're talking about his business life. So I thought about it. And I know a lot of people who've had that same type of surgery, and 2 of them died. And they were almost of around the same age. And so I thought about it, and I know maybe it might have been misleading when y'all read that article, but I wanted to share how I feel. And if whatever impact wants to take it, he can.
Yeah.
I think that Vince McMahon is somebody that his hubris was in him being a great man, so great and on the mountain that he forgot how to be happy. I think sometimes when you're a great person, you do great things. I think a lot of times there's 2 types of happy. There's happy with your success, and there's happy with where you are as a human being. And I think that he's a human, and he made some mistakes. They're horrible. But I'm honestly gonna say, if he does die one day, I'm gonna actually be missing him. Like, seriously, I am gonna miss him. I'm gonna miss him. I really am. I know y'all laughing at me, but it's fine. I'm gonna miss him because at the end of the day,
it's only if he dies. We don't know.
Well, okay. If he dies. But let's be honest. With AI right now, he probably owns ChatGPT, uploading subconscious and just firing everybody on AI and shit. But my point is I'm going to miss him because of the contributions he's done before he was an asshole. Is that fair?
All right. Let me go over to you. I mean, Sin City, we find out, I guess, McMahon had a major spinal surgery. I'm assuming he's doing well. Any thoughts on that, or anything what Simon mentioned?
Yeah, this is just further proof that Vince McMahon will actually outlive each one of us. Because he is now, obviously he had his quads genetically, cybernetically enhanced, if you will. Now he's having his back retrofitted and made into a fucking. He's becoming a cyborg right before our fucking eyes.
He's a Marvel character.
He will live forever at this point. He's going to outlive everyone on this panel, and that's going to be the final laugh that he'll have on every one of us.
That's right.
And he'll. In all seriousness, yes, Vince McMahon has done a lot for professional wrestling. As you had mentioned, Street, we probably wouldn't be here if Vince didn't do the things that he did. But realistically speaking, this just shows that, I mean, he's what, 78 years old, was it?
He's 45, so yeah, 78.
Yeah, he's damn near 80 years old, man. Like, I get it that he's never known any other life outside of WWE, but I mean, enough's enough, man. Like, yeah, I get it that he's a control freak. I get all those little things, but come on, man. Your body's telling you that it's time to focus on other things. So, yeah, ultimately, I just hope that, that the surgery was a success, all jokes aside. And yeah, they just need to go into a different direction with WWE.
Man, Michaels, I hope Vince McMahon wasn't in the ring in any particular reason, for some reason, maybe trying to live the good old days or something, and just happened to tweak his back a little bit, and somehow we didn't get that on video. I don't know. What's your take, though, when you kind of read this and kind of, what Simon and Sin City mentioned?
I just got to say, American Bam Bam had a great statement. If you can rule the free world at that age, you can rule the WWE and professional wrestling. So
no fucking shit.
Yeah.
You ain't lying there.
Yeah, no kidding, right? So, I mean, first off, Steve, the WWE's product has already changed. So, I mean, I do watch AEW. I just don't think it's coherent. So give WWE a try, or wait at least until Vince dies, then give it a try. It just comes down to, it's just he's an old man and he had to have a surgery. Like, And if he would have died on the table, he would have died on the table. I mean, he could fucking die in a car crash. He could die in a plane crash. He could die and fucking have a heart attack. He could be, finger banging a mistress on company payroll money and just fucking, drop dead right then and there. So anything can fucking happen. He's old enough to die. We're all old enough to die. It happens.
Well, I think everybody who's just born is old enough to die, even at that point. So
yeah, that's the whole point. That it's not if you die one day, it's whenever the fuck you die. So that's what happens.
No, that was a Freudian slip by Street. If
it was.
Yeah. I'm telling you,
man. Money talks, man.
Been watching
Listen.
He's been watching a lot of those sci-fi movies. I know, because I watch them too, man. I'd be like, man, I want to live forever too.
Yeah, but
look, man, only thing that's gonna happen, he gonna die. We're gonna find out Vince McMahon this whole time was a squirrel.
No, man, it's very simple. Vince McMahon, Walt Disney, and Adolf Hitler are all going to be frozen as the other two are right now, until the day that the fourth horseman of the apocalypse is frozen, and then they can all come together and end this planet. So we've got three of we've identified three.
What if the fourth one is one of us? What if it's one of us? You never know. There's so much untold with the four of us.
There's only one fourth horseman, and we know that he's not ever dying either. So
who is that?
Exactly.
Woo!
Yep.
Oh, he ain't no damn horseman.
All right, guys.
Not these horsemen.
Great show. Appreciate you. Appreciate everyone hanging out with us as well. Appreciate your comments and all of that. As always, I say join us when you can. We definitely appreciate it. Every Sunday we do this. Normally 3 Count pops on around 8:45 Pacific Standard Time. But we ask you to also join us for wrestling talk as well, which goes about 8 p.m. So if you can join us, make sure you follow us on our or I should say, make sure you subscribe or follow or like on our social medias, especially on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. And when we go live, that notification should come on. That's for some reason you got it blocked, and you will know to hop on. All right. We always appreciate you, and thanks for hanging out with us. All right. Final thoughts as well. Let's start over with you, Simon Streets. What you want to tell the good people out there?
Thank you guys so much for tuning in as usual. And hey, if you're looking for a really good movie that might be a little bit surprised, I went and saw with the fam Disney's new iteration of the Haunted Mansion. And man, wouldn't you believe it? It was very moving and very good. So if you're into that, go see that.
All right. Good stuff. Sin City Steve.
All right. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, doing all the stuff that you guys do. We appreciate each and every one of you. Also, special thank you and shout out to all the brave men and women serving this country, whether you're doing it on lands foreign or domestic. Thank you for doing what you do so that we can do what we love to do. And last but not least, repsports.com, reppsports.com. Go there for all your pre-workout, weight loss, and general energy needs. Again, that's repsports.com. Use promo code Vegas at checkout and save yourself 15%.
All right, Matt Michaels.
Yeah, wildfires, Las Vegas. Why do we have the fucking wildfire shit moving in? Why do I smell like I'm in Los Angeles, for fuck's sake?
Ash on your car, too. Did you get ash on your car?
You know what? Listen, if you get ass on your car, that's...
No, ash. A-S-H. Ash. God damn, man.
Listen, I mean, that is a max cock issue there.
Oh boy, we ain't doing that. All right, until then, y'all take care. We'll see you next week. Peace.